Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7C. My name is Dan McCurdy. I'll be the storyteller this evening. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky, and if you find me anywhere else, that's probably church because it's Lent and I'm very busy, but it could be worse. I could be a prophet. I'll allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with Jeremiah.
Hello. I'm Jeremiah, aka Basics of the Game, and I will be playing Mykolas Kelvan, who is definitely being perfectly well behaved.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie, also known as Gizmos Aplenty across the entire internets. Tonight I will be playing Leonora Orsini, the Sortistrega.
Hello, everybody. I am Wolfgar, Reaper Wolfgar on everywhere that really matters. And tonight I will be playing Fr Rafael Rodriguez, who is definitely something, but has no idea what.
Hey, yo, my name is Took, or Took, I guess. You can find me everywhere at Took or Took, I guess, especially here on the Twitchies and the TikTokies. And no, that's it. I play I got it this time, Dan. Here I go. Monster Hunter, Muscle Mommy, Knight of Avalon, Roan Ibex. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Bam! Also, we will later have Lacar the Artificer playing Umberto Vitale, but we are waiting for him to get off work, and he will join us as soon as he can. Previously on Blood, Fate, and Fortune, nothing much happened. It was actually kind of a slow episode. Actually, we were... the party is on the Isle of Lamont, the home of the family Lamont, the House of the Golden Stag, where they had the House of the Gilded Stag, apologies, where they discovered that their good friend Umberto actually seems to be by blood related to that house. In fact, the nephew of Duke Olivier, the current ruling duke. Upon having discovered that, shortly after, a black ship sailed into the harbor. This black ship was identified as belonging to the portiers of l'Empereur, being sent around to the various ports and used to collect those who have blood sorcery ability so that they may be taken ultimately to Charus and trained. And they were here for one very specific target, and that would be Charlotte Lamont, the daughter of the ruling duke and a very talented chevalier. The portiers very quickly dispersed throughout the island and were very not receptive to the various challenges that they were being given. Things continued to escalate. They made an initial move on Charlotte. The party was able to thwart. But in the midst of this, Pierre, a certain portier that the party had noticed before, happened upon Leonora Orsini and did the whole portier's kidnapping Leonora again. It wasn't necessarily going to be her. It was going to be the first one who went off on their own. These things happen. So when the finding that Leonora had been taken, the party moved very quickly to the black ship, where things were continuing to escalate and escalate and escalate. Duke Olivier was standing there demanding to be allowed aboard, demanding that the portiers leave his island, given the way that they had arrived. And in the midst of all of that, the Duke was shot. This immediately led to violence as the Duke's men started attacking, and the troops on the boat, not all of whom were portiers, started fighting back. The party got involved. The battle was bloody, and at one point, Pierre, believing that the party was bluffing, dared Umberto to kill him. And Umberto took him up on it, stabbing him through the throat and being the first member of the party to get a corruption point for murder. They discovered that Leonora had been placed in the in-between, the world between worlds, the seventh sea, an ocean of blood, where many creatures were starting to try to get the dragon egg that she had in her possession. Umberto went to her, was able to find her, and was able to send her back, but lacked the power to send them both. And so he himself remained behind. And then Charlotte, learning that he had been lost, porting for the very first time, chased after him. Now, and after the Duke got shot, let us not forget, Father Raphael went to do the miraculous healing that we have seen Father Raphael do so many times, but this time it was different. This time the healing was all-encompassing. He was able to remove the musket ball from the Duke's chest, heal him almost completely, and glowed bright as the sun as it happened. And with that, we all come together. You are all at the scene. The crew of most of the portiers have been killed, at least everyone who was present. Most of the crew has either been defeated in the fight or have surrendered. Most people are staring at the Duke and Father Raphael where this miraculous healing has happened. But as I recall, Leonora saw, after Charlotte had attempted to protect her in the midst of the fighting, Charlotte vanish. But there is no sign of her, even after a few minutes. And certainly no sign of Umberto. In the midst of all of this chaos, the Duke is being quickly rushed back into the castle, into the keep. What are we doing?
I would say that Leonora is in the same spot that Charlotte just bamfed and is just looking out in utter shock, kind of unable to speak or do anything. Like she feels paralyzed because of what she just went through and what she just saw.
Raphael will make his way over to her at that point and kneel in front of her.
I think Mykolas is also moving that direction, but he's doing it with he's looking for a threat. I think he's looking to make sure nothing is coming for her or anyone else on board the ship at this point.
Mm-hmm. Roan is also doing the same thing with Mykolas, and then after that, she's going to go over to Leonora and see if she's okay.
Mm-hmm. Around you, there do not seem to be any threats. The Duke's men have taken control of the ship. Any crew remaining are being shackled and essentially dragged off. There's some talk of prisoners and potentially even a Portier prisoner, though obviously that's always going to be a bit of a mixed bag. It's hard to keep a Portier prisoner. And at the moment, you all are being left alone. It's known that you are allies, but you don't fit into the command structure, so no one's telling you what to do.
Leonora is attempting to read the spot in which Charlotte poofed.
Yeah, there's nothing there to read.
Yeah, and I think after several moments before the party comes by, she's just kind of like placing her hands where her feet were, and just like trying to will some sort of semblance of like where they could be. Like there's nothing that she can do right now, but she's like, she has tears in her eyes and she has hurried breath and she's just trying to like claw her way almost.
Oh, there is one thing you do see when you read. The black thread is once again headed straight towards Vidachi. There is no mediation.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yep, thanks, I hate it.
So, Rafael will slowly reach out his hands and kind of cup them out for hers.
Not disrespectfully, but I don't think she is looking up. She's looking down.
Yeah, well, he's kneeling in front of her. So he is down on her level, is what I'm meaning.
She doesn't put her hands in yours. She just looks up and just stares right at you with almost steel gray eyes.
Yeah. Similar eye color in this moment. But no, he will look at her and go, "What happened?"
And she's like trying to catch her breath and trying to breathe and trying to like say, and like at first she's speaking, but there are no words that are coming out. But then she finally says, he took me and he placed me into this place of blood and despair. I don't know, and I can't. And she finally mumbles to Umberto came, and he pushed me back, and then Charlotte went in, and I don't know how to get to them.
Okay. We will figure out how to get them back.
How?
There are people here who have a little bit more knowledge on this fact than we do. I know that we can't go to the same places that Umberto can go, but we know people that can.
Then we need to talk fast because I don't know how much longer they have. It is Raphael, and she takes your hands and she's holding them as tight as she can. She's like, You don't know what I've seen. There is nothing there.
It's okay.
You're
here with us now.
I can't. And then she's just going to break down and she's going to cry into your chest.
Yeah, he'll hold her there and it's just like, it's all right. It's all right. We will figure it out. And it will be okay. It's not okay right now, but it will be. It has never stopped us before. I promise you. And he'll just sort of like give her a squeeze and kind of gently rub her shoulders and just kind of hold and like help her, try to at least anchor her and or like sit there with her through this. So when she calms down, it will be a matter of getting up and going to talk to the Duke at that point.
It should be said, once Leonora is looking at things again, she would see on the deck the body of Pierre slashed through the throat.
As she's like muffled her face in Raphael, she'll like turn upon her shoulder and like resting her head on her shoulder and sees the body. And she will sober up very quickly. And she will start to make her way towards the body and just stare at it and read it.
There is nothing. The dead do not have fate. They've been cut loose from fate.
She's just staring.
Mykolas will put a hand on her shoulder.
She's going to react. And she's going to try to move her shoulder away and look at him. And then realize it's Mykolas. And just take a deep breath with, again, these steel gray eyes at this very moment. Was it you?
No. This is not to say I wouldn't have, but I hadn't reached him yet.
And she's going to start to cry and go into your arms now.
He'll give her a sort of firm hug so she feels supported. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. You're here, and we will get Umberto back. You're okay.
Around this point, Rowan, you would see someone riding up to the ship in full chevalier armor. And you recognize the house sign of the Golden Stag, and this one has a crown in it, indicating that this is a member of the family. But bigger than Charlotte, and you were sitting at the head table, so it's fairly easy for you to put together that this is Edgar Lamont, who is Olivier's son and heir to the house. And he dismounts and walks up to the boat and pauses as he looks at where Charlotte's horse is still sort of milling around where she dismounted. And he walks up to you all and lifts up his helmet and kind of because Rowan is the one that Edgar has actually met of this crew. We'll walk up to. So Rowan, in all of the chaos, my father is calling for Charlotte. I see her horse is still here. Do you know where she went?
At that point, Roan will look back at the others and look back at him. If I'm being honest with you, no.
I'd prefer that.
No, I do not. No, but with hope, they should be back soon.
They? Who? And he walks past Rowan up the gangplank onto the boat. What do you mean back? Where is Charlotte?
Raphael would have known that Charlotte would have ported, but Leonora's too distraught to speak.
That's Raphael will come forward and just keep his voice to a whisper as to not carry too and cause too much panic other than the man in front of him says, "We believe that she ported. There's a lot to explain, and I probably shouldn't do it more than once. We should probably make our way to the Duke to debrief him."
I'd be more comfortable with you near him anyway after what happened. Yes.
Okay.
Let's go up then. Father, if you any of you who are skilled with horse, Charlotte's horse is fairly stable for a charger, but you'll want to know your way around
Rowan.
A war horse.
Rowan,
Yeah.
will you take her horse? I'll take Persepolis.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Okay. Are you two going to be okay? Looks over at Leonora and Mykolas.
You are mute.
Mykolas will look over. Yes, we'll be all right. We'll come up as well once she's better able to.
Leonora is going to pull at Mykolos's collar and say, "We cannot leave. What if they come back? We need to stay here."
Roan will slightly pull out the chess piece that Leonora will immediately recognize. I think they'll find us wherever we are with this.
But if you want to stay here, I will stay here with you. You two go up and tell them what they want, what they need to know.
Of course.
All right. Yeah.
If you need anything, you'll know where we are.
Actually, Edgar says and looks to Mykolas. My father was hoping you would come up as well. We may have need of speaking to you in more formal capacity than we have to this point.
I will stay with her so long as she needs me. I appreciate the hospitality and I will come when I can. But she needs me more right now.
He pauses, then nods. Until you are formally summoned, then. And then turns, mounts his horse. Is Rowan getting on Charlotte's, or is someone else daring the war horse?
Raphael's hopping on Persepolis because there's no way that he's going to try to hop on a stranger's war horse. No, thank you. He's not that good.
No, Rowan will calm the horse and then hop on.
Yeah, Rowan, go ahead and give me your resolve and ride just to see how well this goes. Because war horses do not like being ridden by not their riders. So
That's a pretty decent roll for me.
Yeah.
And this is the first roll for this. So Flair. And I'm not doing anything ridiculous with the horse, so no extra dice. Oh, 2 10s off the bat. That's crazy. Okay.
That's always a good start.
That is 3 raises.
3. Yeah, on 3, there is 1 minor wound that you take just because it's more tiredness than anything else because they are constantly testing you. It's just the early days. And frankly, you've gotten used to Persepolis.
I lied. I missed 110. That was 3 10s, so that's 4 raises.
4 raises. Then no
Yeah,
wounds.
sorry.
And you've got control. They're fighting you, but you show control pretty quick. And we'll even say as you're walking up at one point, Persepolis just kind of tosses the head over and nips at this mare who who listens. Horses have a tendency of listening to Persepolis. So you all are slowly making your way up towards the keep, leaving Leonora and Mykolas on the deck. Umberto. You knew it was coming. You are surrounded by the blood, the waves. And Charlotte is looking around at all of it. What is it?
He'll kind of look around. He's almost gleeful, but he's got that this could go wrong at any moment. It's, to put it simply, our world. This is what we travel through when we use our magics. Unfortunately, because of how things have become for us, this is how we see it.
How we see it? You mean it's not actually like this?
I was given a rare gift just recently, and I saw it for how it should be.
What did it look like then?
Picture the most beautiful scene you've ever imagined in your life. It destroys that scene. It is, to say it isn't that indescribable describes it, but it is breathtaking.
Are the waters always like this? Like the sea at the very end of a storm?
Sometimes they are worse than this, to be honest. But it is what we make it. I won't lie. While it is off-putting, it's only dangerous when the monsters follow us.
What monsters? And this you see the warrior woman who's like, while we're here, it would be nice to fight something. But what kind of monsters?
The ones that we make for ourselves. The dogs, however, I absolutely loathe those things. So if you see any, feel free.
She's looking around. She's like, oh, what's that? And she looks on the far side of the island, away from the mouth of the cave that you all are still standing by. And as you look over there, you see what appear to be tents being formed in the waves.
Tents? Okay.
A lot of them. With banners.
That is new to me. It looks like a campsite.
For that many to camp, that's usually an army.
Yes.
Should we take a look?
Ooh.
Come on, let's take a look.
Just be careful. I see. This family.
She starts walking forward and looking around. You can make out some of the heraldry on the banners, the ones that are embroidered rather than just painted. That's House Lucerne, the House of the Grey Owls, L'Emperor's own banner, House Sombratron. This is most of the great houses. And the others, the painted ones, likely they're assorted lesser houses. This is a Montagnan army camp.
Are they using the road to... Should we be concerned?
I mean, I can't think of any reason why. And she very awkwardly puts her gauntleted hand forward to try to see if she can open the tent. They're all formed of blood like everything else here. And so, and you recognize that they are similar formations to the creatures and things that you saw. She tries to open them, but can't. Pulls her hand back, a little amazed that it's not stained with the blood. You said the monsters we bring with us.
Yes.
I don't see... There's one great house missing.
Which one?
Mine. Ours. The golden stag isn't here. The bloody stag, I suppose it would be.
If they're here, and your families, our families, is not, do you think they're coming for them?
That might be an army arrayed against us. And look, Sombratron, and the tents have not stopped popping up. You now have a massive field of tents scattered all around. This could only be a courier from Sombratron. They are, sorry, I know you're Vodachin, they're the second most powerful house. They're second only to L'Emperor. And they're barely here. Oh no.
I think your L'Emperor is finally had enough of your father.
Or the other way around. We are going to jump to Raphael and Rowan. Oh, I see that Rowan just stepped away. So let's hop to Mykolas and Leonora. You two are staying behind on the ship. Time passes. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half hour.
And I think Leonora can't stop but pace between the two spots of where Charlotte left and where Pierre is.
How many dead bodies have you seen in your life?
I've seen enough. That is not what scares me, Mykolas.
What scares you?
And she's going to look back. She's reading. She's going to look back and follow the black thread that's going to Vadachi. And then she's going to look at where Charlotte left. And she's going to just stare at it for a minute and say, feeling helpless. If you were there, Mykolas, if you felt how I felt, there was nothing. There was no fate, no strings. And I could do nothing but run. I'm tired of running. But I'm too scared to feel helpless.
You're not helpless. You're one of the strongest women I know.
You say that only because I am here.
I say that because everywhere we've gone, you put yourself out to heal, to mend. I call you Malawiqua, the little needle. Needles mend things, heal. That's what you do. And that takes strength, more strength than what I do.
She's still looking off into the distance, and she goes, that's all well and good, but mending doesn't help when you go against something that just wants to destroy everything you've built. I can mend just fine. I can bring hope. I can do the right thing over and over and over again, but I can only do so much. I can only go so fast. I am only one person. I am not.
We're all just one person. You can't do it
Though
alone.
some of us have partners.
He doesn't even flinch. We all are walking through this world alone. And it's only when we work together that we can do anything. I'm used to being part of an army. I'm a good soldier. One of the best. But I can't afford an army by myself. You are not alone.
I was, Mykolas. I was very much alone. 'Tis not your fault. 'Tis not anyone's fault. It is the acts of evil people like him.
As you point at Pierre's corpse, and you're standing right over it as you do it, you see he's wearing mostly black, which seems to be a sort of uniform of the portiers when they're doing official acts. But as you look down, you see a white piece of paper sticking out from under the jacket-like thing that he has over him.
Glinting to that, she's going to loot the corpse.
He's got the usual. He's got daggers. He's got a pretty nice rapier.
Get all those fucking daggers.
But the piece of paper that you've seen, and a fair amount of gold. Seems he was well paid for his work. But what you pull out is a piece of cardstock. And it is a very familiar texture. You recognize that this is the cardstock used in Vodacce for making decks of fate. And as you turn it over in your hand, you see the symbol, the heraldry of House Felici.
Sorry, gotta put that on my notes.
Do you know this symbol?
It is a symbol of home. It is a symbol of the nobles that are in charge of the land of Felici. I was just on an outside town, many miles away, but we were still part of Felici. But we knew this symbol came up on boards, notice boards, and the banners would come in. It was never a good time.
Oh, and about half of the gold coins also hold the stamp of Felici. The merchant princes each mint their own coinage in Vodacce. And those are Felici coins.
She's sifting through and only taking the ones that do not hold that symbol and placing them into her satchel.
Mykolas will actually take a couple of the ones that have the Felici symbol on them and have a thoughtful look on his face. It would look very bad for a servant of the king to have markings to indicate that he was on the payroll of another nation.
Well, he did say that he was between jobs. He gave me an option. He said, come with me to Montaigne. What is it? It's Scoroche?
Charus is the guy.
Charus. Come with me to Charus. Or to bring me back to people who really were looking forward to meeting me. And if this, holding up the symbol, is what he meant by that, she's going to spit in his face. He is as heartless as every person in that castle.
We're going to skip now over to Roan and Raphael. You all come up into a very ornate bedchambers. This is Montaigne, even if it is an outlier. And in it lies the Duke, though he already looks a little irritated. Like he's got people, fussing all around him because he just got shot in the chest. But he's like, you can tell I do not have barely any injuries. Everything I have is actually from when I was tilting with Sir Rowan. What? And everyone's like, yes, my Duke, but we need to be sure and everything. And Rowan and Raphael walk in with Edgar. And the Duke looks at him and is like, all right, everyone else out. The priest, Sir Rowan, Edgar, you stay. Everyone else. And the servants all kind of scatter and run off. And he looks to Edgar. Where is your sister? And Edgar kind of looks to Raphael and Rowan and gives the... They said they wanted to only have to tell the story once.
Yeah.
Duke Lamont, in the chaos of the battle, Umberto went into what I can only describe as like he calls it the in between the seventh seat, the place where their magic comes from. He went in and did not come out. Charlotte, knowing this, disappeared, presumably to find him.
There are, it is noticeable the differences of the reactions between them. Edgar looks at you completely shocked. And is like, she vanished. And the Duke shakes his head, utterly unsurprised. She is a portier, Edgar. It was always going to happen eventually. And Edgar looks at him like, you knew. But the laws, the order, and the Duke looks up at him. Send my daughter to be with those animals. No. She did not practice. But it was always possible that in a moment of extremis, to discover she had a cousin, a long-lost cousin, and then that he was gone, of course she tried. I can only hope she's okay right now. He looks up at Raphael. I have a question for you.
I might have an answer.
First, I should say thank you for what you did. Second, how did you do it? I've never known a sorcery that had that capacity.
It's not a sorcery. And to be quite honest with you, I am still figuring out how it is that it happens. And he'll look over to Rowan and kind of reach out and grab her hand for comfort, mostly just because this scares the shit out of him just as much as it is miraculous. And he just goes, I've always been able to heal small things. Injuries of any and all kind up to this point, and I thought it was no different. I didn't know what to expect. That was the first time that has happened. I usually just glows on my hands. I did not expect to light up like a beacon. And he pulls out the musket ball and holds it out in the palm of his hand, and be able to pull this from your chest. I don't know how. All I knew in that moment was I couldn't let anything happen to you. Not with the chaos going on. There wasn't a way to. And he'll just kind of clench the ball and kind of tuck it back into his pocket. There was no way that I could just stand by and do nothing. Bless you.
Thank you. That insistence on doing what can be done might be needed in the days to come. So, Rowan, you, as a knight of the Grawl, are a member of the most sacred court of Avalon, in direct service to Queen Elaine herself, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you saw, as agents of l'Empereur, fired on me for demanding access to my daughter.
I did.
I had hoped Master Kelvan would be here. And Edgar said, they are waiting now, I believe, to see if Adrian and Charlotte return. And Olivier nods. I will need to speak to him as well. I will need to speak to a lot of people. Because l'Empereur has declared war. Whether or not that was his intention, I cannot say. But one of his fired at me. And not every portier who is here has been accounted for. One of them will tell him what happened. And he will know that that is not an offense I can tolerate. L'Empereur has been soft, caught up in his own games, his own entertainments for too long. I intend to raise my banners and call upon every ally I can find. It is my intention to march on Charus and end the reign of l'Empereur.
And you are asking us to help you do that?
The Avalonians hold no love for the Imperial House. And though you are objectionists, you follow the prophets, while the House of l'Empereur is stalwart in its atheism. I would hope that I could call upon the Knights of the Grawl and the troops that they can raise to aid in this. Similarly, he looks to Raphael. Though the story could have gone either way, the Grande of Castile know that it was the presence of House Lamont on the field, undeclared, that led to the Montagnan pullback. I would hope that I could call upon our Vaticine brothers and sisters to aid us as well. Castile having been invaded by l'Empereur, I suspect would be eager to see to it that his house is no longer in a position to do the same.
I am not sure that my voice is one that they will hear or listen to.
Castile remains faithful in a way Montaigne did not. You are the voice of a priest, and you are good at making your voice be heard. And you have a power that's been granted to you. That is the sort of thing people listen to. And I must tell you this in full honesty and hope that you would trust in the knowledge of what my bloodline has seen all the way back when my ancestor rode alongside the second prophet. You will be a symbol. Someone will use you. The only way for you to guide that sword is to choose your side before it is chosen for you.
And he mutters under his, like, he mutters to himself in Castilian and then just says, they branded me a heretic. The Inquisition wants me dead as much as l'Empereur obviously wanted you dead.
And the Inquisition gets resisted, yes? There are others who speak against them among the faithful.
Some do, yes. Myself,
And
at least, but
what might also be mentioned is that the Inquisition have often sent overtures to me for the role that I played. If I give you the right words, the right letters to send, you might be able to call them in on oaths that they've already made. You might be placed in command of them and force them to change their tone.
He kind of just gets a look of confusion and so many thoughts play in his head of, what? Command? What even is command? And this is assuming they'll even listen to it. And it's like his brain is starting to spiral and his tongue is sticking to the roof of his mouth. And he is trying to keep composure and trying not to tell a dupe to his face that, are you crazy? Is not a response.
Ron will hold just a grip Raphael's hand, feeling the tension. We will talk about this as a group and see what we all will say. And I know that 100% my brothers and sisters will help. So I will send a letter and maybe we get another night of the Grawl here, which is very rare. But
the opportunity to be owed a favor by Montaigne, I imagine, this might require a whole new cycle of Tales of the Grawl to be written.
Yeah, I will send off a letter the fastest way I know how. But on the rest of that, though, and she will look at Raphael, the rest of us will have to have a talk, if that is okay with you.
Of course. I do not speak lightly of war, but war is what I have. L'Empereur cannot permit this to be seen to be just a cowardly mistake. He knows it could be held over him. Now that the spark has been lit, he will march.
And if you don't prepare, you'll be caught unawares, so we can't have that either. He kind of runs his hand back through his hair, says, I am not a man of war. Never really have been. I am a great many different things.
Your sword.
I am a great many things. I am a priest, a man of faith, and someone who is willing to fight for others that don't fight, who can't fight for themselves.
You travel with the soldier.
I do.
And of all things, a soldier of Samartia, so a noble. I will need to request that he take a message to his king. The hussars of the Samartian Commonwealth and the chevaliers of my house recently took part in a grand melee together. Fought sometimes as allies, sometimes as enemies, but both came out with great respect. There is no greater standing army in Thea than the Samartian Commonwealth. And some of them have ties. I will need to see if his king can spare any.
We will likely have to talk as a group as far as that goes, but provided that we reach an agreement and an accord, I will gladly sit with you and figure out what letters need to be sent where. Because
I appreciate
but
there. Edgar, and he looks over and his son looks up. Yes, father. Go down to the dungeons. See who you can find remaining of those who have been captured. Find out who escaped. And see if you can discover how long we have before Lemper begins his preparations. Edgar nods. And there is an edge in everything that you are sensing. Raphael, give me your wits and empathy.
okay. Adobe crash. Give me 1 second. This will be fun. Three.
You're able to read fairly well. The Duke is incredibly well spoken, and on top of being obviously a very talented chevalier, he's also a very talented politician. And there is an anger in him that you might have missed, except it's in Edgar too. And you don't know how clearly they're thinking, because as far as they know, what the Portiers did cost them Charlotte.
Okay.
And there is revenge in them. And you also know at this moment talking to them, you're not sure how effective that would be. These are two very powerful men on tilt.
On tilt. So what Raphael will do is he's going to look at Rowan. And I don't know if the Duke speaks is speaking in Castilian, or he might know Castilian, never mind. But we'll look to Rowan and then look between the two men. And we'll look at the between the Duke and says, do you mind if I send Rowan with your son to help?
Not at all. I'd be interested to hear how the Knights of the Graal are at extracting information from those who do not wish to share it.
And says, and I will sit with you if it's all the same.
I appreciate your offer, but I feel the healing you've done has been sufficient. If you and your friends need to have a conversation, I would like to know your answer soon. The messages I need to send need to be sent quickly.
That is fine. Give me 1 moment. Just 1 moment. And he will pull Rowan aside and whisper to her.
Yeah, Roan is looking at him like, "What are you doing?" That's the look on her face.
He is going to whisper to her. They are both very angry. You need to make sure that he doesn't go too far.
You want really?
If anyone is going to understand, a knight will be able to keep another knight in
And she's like, just looking at Raphael.
Just like,
I don't know if it's a good idea to. You want me to go? And they're angry. Their sister is gone. They have to defend their home.
I know that, but we can't go off half-cocked like this. If me talking to them right now is not going to do a very effective bit of good, but they might not drop more bodies. There has been plenty of bloodshed here. We need to make sure that there is no more than necessary.
God fucking damn it. She's just gonna turn and walk to Edgar and go, come on.
Edgar, having heard the swearing as you step away, it's like, I have a very similar sentiment. Let's go talk to some servants of the Emperor, shall we? And
yeah,
leads you down towards the dungeon. Umberto!
This is not gonna be good. It's okay.
Oh no. It's probably going to get worse here in a second, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
So yeah, you are staring at this and you see the camp just growing and growing. And then on the other side of the island, one you'd originally been on, you happen to glance over your shoulder because you tend to keep your head on a swivel when you're in the in-between. And looking over your shoulder, you see another encampment starting. And there you can see the banner of the Gilded Stag. Numerous other more minor houses from Montaigne. A few Vidachin houses. A symbol of Knights of the Grawl. Banners of Grandes from Castile. And even the waving flag of the Samartian Commonwealth.
He will proceed to just, as eloquently as he can, spew out Vidachin colorful language.
I speak a little Vidachin, but I've only heard a few of those, and based on what I know, the rest are impressive.
We need to find a way back.
Look, there's another one. And over the island, in the middle, equally between the two camps, you see the banner of the Vatican, all in red, in blood like all of the others. And it seems to be turning. In one moment, it's pointing to one camp, in one moment to the other.
My parents did not prepare me for things like this.
Does this mean the church will try to prevent a war?
That, or it's making up its mind which side it wants to be on.
But there is no war. Unless, oh no. I'm here.
We have to get you home.
Okay, how?
He's going to close his eyes and just feel for the piece.
And it's there, like any other mark.
Now, I heard Rowan showed it off, but I did not hear Rowan say he gave it to anyone.
No, it is Rowan. She is still in possession of the chess piece.
Yeah, she still got it.
Okay. So Lenora's waiting in the wrong damn spot. Anyway. She gonna be madder. This is just gonna make it better, though. Just wait. So he's like, okay, he's gonna feel the piece, and he's going to just kind of hold out his hand. I think if I really try, I can get us both home. I didn't have it in me before, which is why I sent Leonora, because she does not belong here.
Okay. Could you explain what it is you're doing? I might have to learn.
Yes, sorry. To travel between, we mark, we leave a piece of ourselves, our blood, on something, and it tethers us. Right now, I have a mark on Saron. It is not a perfect precision, but when you mark something, you can always sense it.
Okay. Even in another world.
Yes, it is. It is part of this world, so it is there.
The blood, I guess that makes sense.
And to the price is spilling just a few drops more to connect it to you and to open the gate home.
Okay. So I don't need to do anything. You will take me with you.
Yes. And he'll hold out a hand to her.
She will reach out and take it.
I would say be prepared for an interesting sensation, but you experienced it once already.
Suddenly you hear a voice coming from the mouth of the cave. So eager to leave, Umberto.
Do I recognize it?
You do not immediately recognize the voice, but a figure made seemingly of blood steps out. You do seem, however, he looks up over his shoulder, to have recognized my banner.
He will immediately, instinctively just pull Charlotte behind him and get in front of her.
It's a little awkward because she's muscular and in full plate, but you managed to get
Okay, then he will step in front.
Yeah. But
I wasn't thinking about the fact that she was in the full armor. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she charged in Chevalier armor.
Yeah. So yeah, he will step in front of her and just have hand ready to draw. Could you be
The
more
lines are being
specific?
drawn as we speak.
May I ask who I have the pleasure of speaking with?
We've never met before, and I don't know that my name translates appropriately into your current tongue, but I remember you when you closed the Bleshers. That was a good thing you did. It is dangerous to leave open gates between there and here. Are you a man of faith, Umberto Vitale?
to see what I've seen and not have faith in something? I believe in a lot of things. I have faith in many things.
I have a message I would have you take. I do not seek to interfere with your wish to depart. I am not here to hurt you or your lovely companion. The priest you travel with.
What of him?
Tell him the time of the fourth is coming. A war to end all wars. And when this banner chooses its side, he would do well to pick that one as well. It might give him an opportunity to settle several scores. And he looks around and gives a flicking gesture with his hand, and all of the tents disperse. They are not marshaled yet, but they will be soon.
If you truly do not wish to interfere in my departure, then it would be discourteous of me not to deliver your message.
Your powers are great here. Stopping you would involve hurting you, and I have no reason to do that. I suspect one day your banner will fly next to mine. Maybe even both of yours next to mine. What the picture? The valiant hero riding into glorious war. His lady's sleeve wrapped around his arm as he goes.
Like she'd let me run into war.
You glance down and you see a version of Angelica's sleeve. You recognize it. Blood formed, but it's there. In a weirdly intricate lace. You don't know how it holds the form, but it does.
Well, then, I thank you for the conversation, and as they are, as you said, they are not rallying yet, but that will be soon. I should probably return this one to her home so we can prepare for when it does.
Indeed. And Charlotte, I look forward to seeing you lead many charges in my name. And he vanishes. She's like,
Yeah,
my
that
father doesn't generally like me to swear.
he'll look at her and go, "Father's not here, is he?"
No, he's not. What did it mean? Was it just a vision like these others?
It is possible, but this place also has a way of it gets complicated. It could be its way of disorienting us, but seeing how it wasn't stopping us from leaving, this feels different. They tend to not like us leaving when they become
It wanted you to
mouthy
deliver
like
its
that.
message.
Exactly. So
At this point, you start hearing howling around you.
yes, that would be our cue to leave. Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
For that dagger on my pouch, can you pull it for me? Because he's still holding her hand.
Yeah. She pulls the dagger.
And
Why?
he will yes, and he will just kind of reach over and just nick his thumb with it.
Oh.
And then he will just flick it out and use both of his hero points that he has to port them out of dodge.
You and it just happens you have you take the wound.
Yes.
And you take the dramatic. Where does that put you? Because you did opt to keep your death spiral where it was.
Ooh. Wait. Oh. Okay. No.
Are you helpless now?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But that puts me at 4
Okay.
because I have hard to kill.
Right. You have an extra 5. So yeah, you are 5 minors away.
But that is 4.
Mhm. At your 4th dramatic, Rowan, you are walking down into the dungeons. It's a sort of tight fit. Like this keep is really solidly built, and the walls are pretty thick down here. And you're actually having to hunch down a little bit because Rowan is so tall as you are making your way through this. And then all of a sudden, right on top of you, essentially, there appears Umberto and Charlotte. Umberto and Rowan, I'm going to need both of you to make a finesse and athletics risk, just as you try not to get toppled down the stairs into the basement.
I don't know why, but I kind of want to.
Do you want to choose to fail?
Because I have unfortunate, and that will give me 2 extra hero points.
Sure.
I will choose to fail, and as she is falling down the stairs, she's now cursing in Castilian. Puta madre! God, son of a bitch!
Rowan, I'm going to give you 4 minors for that.
Okay.
Toppling down, but you do get your hero point, which because of unfortunate becomes 2 hero points.
That is my second dramatic.
3.
That's
3. So you only take 1 more minor. And also don't forget, like, 10s are exploding for you now and all of the fun things that happen when you have that many dramatic wounds.
Oh.
Yeah. So Umberto, you just stumble a bit, but you watch as Rowan, for not the first time in this campaign, just hurtles down a flight of stairs.
And she
Edgar,
was
meanwhile,
still
turns
in.
around, what is
4.
happening? Is it an attack?
No, they're back. They're back in my back. Oh, God.
Charlotte. And she's like, Edgar, I'm fine. Where's father? I'm okay. And he's like, you, and now you're here. All right. And he just grabs her in a hug. Umberto, what are you doing?
He's watching Roan fall down the stairs, and like, yep, this is normal. We're back.
Hey, asshole. What's your
And
mind?
he will start making his way down to help her up.
Leonora, is it fair to say that Leonora has been flicking the reading on and off periodically during the... I don't want to read into it, but I feel like that is character.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. You are just flickering back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No, never mind. Back and forth, and then all of a sudden, the black thread, before it goes to Vidachi, you watch it zip off towards the keep.
She's gonna look at the direction of the keep, curse in Vidachin, and try to find the nearest horse.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Mykolas, what's going on?
And as she's spouting expletives in Vidachin, she goes, "They're back," and is going to start heading towards the keep.
How quickly do you want to get up there?
Immediately.
Hold on. And he will pick her up. And he will say, he will sing, "On black wings I do wish to fly." And he is going to use his power to jump, carrying her up to the keep.
Yeah. Does that give you like a distance limit, or is it just
No.
it carries you? All right.
I guess it's DM's discretion.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's
No,
your
for them-
discretion.
I could say you're going to make multiple hops, but no, because it's going to be awesome in this moment. You grab up Leonora in your arms, and suddenly you are both flying. Leonora, you look down. The ground is a long way down as this wind is carrying you up. Mykolas, I don't think you were actually intending to fly this high, but you said to the castle, and Rona is accommodating. This wind is taking you to the balcony that Leonora had first seen the black ship from. So picture that scene from the end of Spider-Man Far From Home where he's taking MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
screaming.
an accurate portrayal of what's happening with Leonora right now?
Correct.
As you are being...
But it took what might have been a 20-30 minute walk and turned it into a few seconds of flight.
Mm-hmm. And bam, you land softly, not even enough to take any minor wounds, onto the balcony.
And he gently sets her down.
Okay, I might be very angry right now, but you have to warn a woman next time.
Yeah, I will warn you next time, but you were in a hurry.
And then she's just gonna go pat pat and start storming into the castle. Again, raining expletives and shouting, "Dove andato!"
And you are able to follow the thread. You see it's not going to like take you along like the way the stairs, but you have a general idea which direction you are going. And you come up to a door to the dungeon, and the door to the dungeon has guards in it, and they're standing there and they're like, "We're very sorry,
I would suggest moving."
And they kind of look and tilt their head and go, "We have highly secure prisoners here right now. I'm afraid you will need the Duke's permission."
Is I want to try to emulate the same energy that was also in the first episode of me like dodging and weaving between like these guards. Like she's on a steady path. Obviously she's been noticed, but she's like reading the lines of fate as best she can to see what their next move is and is trying to slip through.
Okay. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's get a feel for this, because this is not Like that was moving around in open manner. This is moving in an already secure keep into the most secure rooms in the keep.
Mhm.
But
I'm not expecting it to succeed. I just wanted to see if it'll happen.
so you are trying to succeed. You're not choosing to fail, but you want to roll.
Correct.
All right, go ahead then and give me your wits, and let's call it hide.
Wits and hide.
This would have no chance of success, except we have established that you can use lines of fate to kind of guess, to kind of feel out where people are going to be.
Okay. 4.
4. It's not going to be quick, but you make it look like you're giving up. And you step away. And then suddenly, Mykolas, you see Leonora looking at things that you can't see and following them and moving around and going this way. And then we walk this way. And then there's one moment, Leonora, you can sense you are walking along with Mykolas down a hallway, and you are now in the secure part of the castle. This is where you get caught here. We're not having a conversation. And you've got Mykolas right there with you. And as you're passing down it, suddenly you realize a pair of guards are about to turn down the hall. But there is an alcove in the wall right to the side. Mykolas has no way of knowing it's there. What do?
I'm going to push him in there.
All right. Leonora grabs Mykolas, pushes him into the alcove. It's not very big, and then presses herself in.
Yep.
Right there with him in the alcove. And there you are, nose to nose. And with that, we are going to take a break, and we will come back after a chance to see some of the other shows we have on the channel. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Rafael. After you left Rowan's side, where were you headed?
He was going to the Duke, to be honest, because with the Duke, as like, I'm not here to heal you at this point. I am here to keep you company in what is obviously a stressful time while your house tries to ready itself. He's being the priest in the priest capacity, not trying to be a healer or like the doctor type at the moment. He's trying to keep the man company.
Duke Olivier, once Rowan and Edgar leave, just gets out of bed. Gets up. He's in, light shirt and pants and stuff like that, and walks over to a table and is looking at a pretty substantial map of Montaigne and some outlying lands, and he's kind of looking over it. The somber tones won't pick a side. If it's me versus Charus, they will hope that they can stay to the periphery, claim they're merely protecting the Eisner border, and then try to see where the wind goes. If one side wins definitively, they'll join them. If one side is only barely winning, they will come in late, be the heroes, and try to claim the throne for themselves.
Duke Olivier, I have to ask you this. What is your hope and your outcome for the outcome of this?
He looks up at you. When I take the field, most of the houses will at least claim to support l'Empereur. I am an outlier in many ways. But the common people have not given up their faith. Many of the knights will go with l'Empereur, but much of the armies, the people, will flock to my banner. And then I hope take Charus quickly. It was not built to be defended. End the war as quickly as I can. That would be the best case scenario. But this is war.
It is. And war's biggest casualties, and ones that usually bear a lot of the cost, are the people.
You're not wrong.
I'm not saying you are not righteous in your anger and needing to respond to this. I can only imagine the position you're in, being who you are and having what has happened in your house, on your shores. I'm not saying you shouldn't prepare, because you absolutely should.
Do you
They're
remember
just-
when Montaigne had Castile occupied? How old were you?
Out of character, Wolfgar does not know that.
Younger teenager, probably.
It's in my teens. And I remember.
When we pulled back, all Montaignan troops, including my own, I remember watching the people of Castile cheering. Cheering me like a hero. My men had never fought. I'd never been part of the occupation. And when I arrived, my banner was enough to end it. Had I charged, I maybe could have prevented this. I thought, by simply bluffing to l'Empereur, that I might charge on behalf of the Castilians, that he would realize it was no longer worth it, and his generals would pull back. And that's what happened. I averted war. And allowed that odious man to save his pride. And now, see where his pride has gotten us. On the verge of war within our own borders. Had I charged, your people would have fought alongside, ones who weren't even already in the field. The stories of what the House of the Gilded Stag stands for. I thought I was saving people's lives.
Don't do that to yourself.
What I'm doing is reminding myself that we cannot foresee all outcomes. And avoiding one and avoiding harm here may only delay the bill, and then you pay with interest.
You cannot enter into a situation like this already expecting to fail. That is how you ensure that you do.
He actually laughs and he looks at you. I appreciate the sentiment, Father, but failure is not my consideration. Here, let me show you. And he guides you over to the map.
He'll walk over.
These houses here, and he points to the north, they all serve some patron. Villains, everything the stories ever made them out to be. They will not immediately engage. It is their nature. They have no more love for the Emperor than they do for me, and so long as they can claim to be protecting the northern border from Eisen, no reason to get engaged. I imagine they will report a raise in undead attacks. These, they followed my house for a long time and for good reason. They'll side with me. We'll be outnumbered, but like I said, many of the common folk will be with us. And when the banners are raised, there will be a lot of deserters from the other houses that come to find my lines. I will be evenly matched with L'Empereur. He will have an advantage in knights, I will have an advantage in troops, and the finest chevaliers in Montaigne. And then, perhaps, Knights of Avalon, Grandes from Castile, perhaps even the church itself, and my most far-flung hope, the Hussars. Their commander, he's a good man. Deadly. Said that fighting against me was one of the great honors of his service. I think I can convince him if I can get the permission of their king. And then I have the numbers. I do not suspect to fail. If I did, if I honestly thought I had no hope, I would be finding something else. I would have willingly walked onto that ship alone and let them take me wherever. But this war, not to say I will, all outcomes are not known. But I can win it.
I have the utmost faith in you. My biggest concern is what it will cost the people. Making a decision like this, I imagine, is not one you would arrive to lightly. I've never had to make a decision like this, so I can't say that I know, but I can only imagine. But seeing it happen in real time and walking through areas of countries that I have only read about, and how it's affected and how the people are affected by war.
Families torn apart, brother against brother, sister against sister, villages burned, whole crops burned to deny troops their food. These will be the moves that are made. This will be a devastating winter. I have reserves for my troops and can acquire more. But even then, the food always comes from somewhere.
Do you think this could be done with minimal casualties? Outside of those that are necessary in war, I suppose. But
the only way to end this easily is assassinating L'Empereur. And the best assassins in all of Thea are exclusively under his command. If the war ends quickly that way, it ended with my death.
he kind of looks down at his hands and then thinks about the ball bearing that's in his pocket. If I had not been able to convince your men to step aside, I feel like there would be an entirely different conversation that would be had right now.
If I had died on that dock, and Edgar was now Duke, this would have been a very different conversation. He's a good man, but young. Eager to make his own legend. He has not yet really seen, that war is not the storybooks. He's been taught it. He's read it. He understands it as well as it is possible to understand when you have not seen it yourself, which means he has no understanding at all. He would make mistakes. He might still win, but it would be worse. For that, you have my thanks. His first war, he will not be in command. Hopefully, he will not have a second, but if he does, it will be as a man who knows, and that will make all the difference.
He kind of looks over and just goes, when I was on Fantasine Island, I was studying to be a priest. Did you know? He kind of just goes, I was going to be groomed to sit at the side of the king, to whisper into his... The Inquisition saw me as a velvet glove to be used to whisper their words into his ear. It was not until I had to go before the Inquisition themselves to defend my thesis, as it were, that they likely realized that I was not their puppet. I had no desire to be. I didn't wish to be.
Do you know, Father? I imagine it felt very much like they were grooming you as a puppet. But I feel you're underselling yourself. I've seen your courage, the way those around you listen to you, follow your lead when you give it, the way you know when to give it, or when to defer to those who are actual experts. You carry that sword as a man who knows how to use it and who has had to. They are not your belief. You've gone another way. But if you hadn't, if you joined up with their dogma and their ideology, you would have made an amazing inquisitor. They respected you. You don't put someone at the side of a king to puppet. You put someone at the side of the king to be a puppet master. There comes a time in every young knight's life when he learns that eventually the armor and the horse and all of the training means that they are not just a piece on the field. That the day will come when the lives of others, of soldiers, of everyone who gets caught up in war, will eventually rest on their decisions. You cannot be just a priest. That was never going to be an option for you. You could get back on your boat when this is all done. I have no claim to hold any of you. and sail as far away as you can imagine. Who you are and what you can do will follow you. And you will lead. Even if it's just leading this band away from war. And that will have consequences, as will staying. I do not say this to bully you or threaten. But understand, for you, from that time when you were just a boy being groomed by an inquisitor, eventually, you were going to have to pick a side. And they really wanted you to pick theirs. We are going to go back down to. Well, actually, we will flip over to Mykolas and Leonora, who are currently in an alcove, very close, nose to nose. Or Lenora's kind of short, so nose to chest, as the as the guards are going by. What's happening in that moment there, as you are both, as Mykolas is pressed against the wall by this tiny Vedachian woman?
Knowing the fiction as I do, there is definitely the awkward moment of realizing that they're both very close in an alcove looking directly at each other.
I will also say that it's that fictitious moment where like one of them is super serious and like there's a mission going on and the other one's like so Lenora is like, shut your mouth and is like like has probably both hands up against his chest, probably ear to chest as well, while she's looking to make sure that the guards walk away, and there might be like a scent of her hair that is just within the space.
Yeah, and there's a very different look on his face as he's looking down at her than the look on hers. She's got this sort of, and he's just looking down at her.
Most magnificent DM.
Yes, madam.
Would this be an opportunity that I can activate my Arcana?
Which Arcana and to what effect?
My virtue, the moonless night. Activate your virtue when you act behind the scenes from the shadows or through a proxy for the next risk when you determine races.
Okay. What risk are you planning to take?
When the next opportunity is to like hop out and like go, like she wants to make sure that they like go at the right time.
Okay, read the Arcana again.
So yeah, it's activate your virtue when you act behind the scenes from the shadows or through a proxy. For the next risk, when you determine raises, every die counts as a raise.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cool.
So, we've got Leonora pressed up against Mykolas. We got Mykolas just like staring down at her, not knowing what to do about it. And as Leonora goes to step back out, I would normally have asked for a wits and hide, but instead you get to turn all of those into raises because of your Arcana.
That's the second time I used wits and hide, so it's going to be a 5.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the new scene, so...
Oh, okay, that's 6!
You get a scene edit to your benefit.
Cool. So the scene edit is because what was told is that we turned around and went the other way and then just hid in the alcove to like wait for whoever to go.
What was told was all of a sudden you realized they were going to turn, and so you grab shove into alcove.
Yeah. Okay. So my scene edit is that music starts to play.
Okay. What kind of music?
It would be music that from the party. Perhaps it was because this is still after the party. This is like a couple hours after the party now, right? So there's Oh no, I lied. So there's one drunk man um who just barges out of a nearby closet, still partially drunk,
Okay.
and causing a scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 100%. In fact, I'll incorporate both.
Nice.
A
Nice.
very drunk man, a bard, who was performing and stumbled around, had actually stumbled into this high security location. And the guards come and say, no, I was providing the entertainment, And he starts singing, and he's got a heck of a voice. And he is singing a lovely and entirely suggestive Montagnian love song. And he sounds good. But yeah, he is making a ruckus, and the guards are being drawn to him.
Great. Lenora is going to take this as an opportunity to run to the place that they need to go.
And you already had that, like, so with your all risks mitigated. You are able to pull through and still following the black thread. Real quick, we're going to hop over to Umberto and Rowan and Charlotte and Edgar as they all gather at the bottom of the stairs where Rowan fell.
I feel like it's going to take more than Umberto to get her up on her feet.
Especially given Umberto's current situation.
Yeah.
He ain't doing too well for himself.
Actually, Rowan, Charlotte puts a hand down, grabs yours, and like, you're heavy. You're big and you got all that armor, but she knows how to help up someone in armor. And actually, you're not in your full plate right now. You got back into your adventuring armor, so yeah. She's able to fairly easily help. Not easily, but she gets you up on her own.
It would have hurt less if she was in the fucking armor. So she gets like, she's like, I see why Sir Brian had back pain. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Sorry. I assumed we would go back to the boat.
Yeah. No. Give me a second. She's gonna slap him aside the head.
Umberto, take a minor wound.
Oh, come on. Ron, what the hell?
No. What the hell, dude? You did it again, and then you get hit. I warned you last time.
Fair. Yeah, it was unexpected. But you should know by now that I'm going to do this, okay? So if you're going to hit me every time I do this, I might as well, you know what? Just get him out of the way now. Just give me a couple extra ones, just so I, flush.
She's gonna then hug him.
She's gonna what?
Hug him.
Okay. Take two minor. No. Okay.
Imagine, bro. Just break bones. But yeah, she's gonna hug him and then pull him back and be like, she's gonna be pissed, right?
Why do you think I was hoping you'd have the peace? Because I need someone in armor to protect me.
Well, you told me to hold it. By the way, do you need it back now?
I would like it back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and she's
Edgar right now, but
Edgar comes up and is hugging Charlotte and is like, "This, we do still have an interrogation to do, but that father will definitely want to know you're alive, and also
yes.
that you're a portier." And Charlotte's like, "Not now," and he's like, "Okay, fair." As you all start turning, Edgar trying to decide, do we go down to the dungeon to do the interrogation? Do we get all you back up? All of a sudden, you all hear a very drunken man, who yet still has fairly impressive total control, singing a Montagnian love song in the dungeon for some reason.
That makes me very concerned about the next thing that may or may not happen. So you go upstairs first.
I don't know. I didn't. This is a very good song. I should. No, you know what? Yes. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Umberto, you start going up the stairs and then coming down the stairs. In what order? Well, Lenora's following the thread, so I'm guessing it'd probably be her and then
I'm in
Mykolas.
front.
Umberto, you are walking up the stairs and then you see Lenora coming down them.
Yeah.
Umberto es stupido!
Question: how safe are how sturdy are those bars downstairs?
Very.
Very. Yeah.
Good. Could you lock me up, please?
Leonora originally had Mykolos's hand in his like to run to this location, but then once eyes are locked, she's trying to let go, but I can only assume that Mykolos has her hand.
Yeah, it's like no. He looks like he's not in good enough shape for you to take out your anger
And she's
right now.
screaming expletives and trying to like claw at him basically, and is going to spend a hero point to pull him closer to me. I will take my lash and I will
Take your
spend
lash.
my sorry, I'm at 4. Why am I okay? And
Remind me, does the pull do damage?
let me see. I don't even know if I have to do a hero point. Pull, minor, take 1 lash. So I just have a lash. Character loses 1 raise as he stumbles headlong toward you and struggles to recover his balance and footing.
So if we were in combat, you would lose a raise, but we're not in combat. So
Right. If pulled toward you, if the character is on the other side of a movable obstruction or one that is easily broken, he takes 1 wound, but you're not. You're just on the stairs.
and you're being pulled upwards on the stairs. So you do stumble a bit. You know what? No. You got pulled. You're on a narrow stairwell. I'm giving you 1 just from you're getting yanked upstairs at this particular moment.
Okay, so that leaves me with 2.
Yep. And as
sneezes too hard, I'm going down.
as she is screaming expletive, she pulled him. She's reaching for his collar. She's probably pulled back now, both hands in Mykolos's arms. As she, and just
His gig.
yeah, and then literally saying, "How could you do this to me? You cannot do that. You cannot follow my pure." And she's like saying, "Why would you push me through?" Something along the lines of self-sacrifice never like saves anybody or whatever like that.
And he will just hug her gently and then just whisper, "I'm glad you're safe. He can't hurt you again."
Oh, you said the thing.
Yep. No. You can almost feel Mykolos's arms hold her a little more firmly. And he's like, "Perhaps you could stretch out the punishment over time so we don't kill him right now."
You say that, and she hears Umberto say he can't hurt you again, and she is still bound, I guess, with 2 arms, unless Mykolas lets go. And she just like takes her chin and lays it on Umberto's shoulder and is crying again. It's very emotional.
Rowan, what are you doing in the midst of all this?
Just looking at this whole scenario, and then we'll lean over to Edgar and go, "Yeah, I deal with this at least twice a week."
Wait a minute. Is it in a... So he did some Portier thing.
Yep. Well, I think it's less of the portier thinking more of putting himself in danger without low-key a care?
That's the thing. And he turns and he
There you
smacks Charlotte.
Oh, wait. Holy shit. He's like
Across the shoulder, be like, ugh.
What
Me
was
with my little
that
sister.
for? You just... And they're having a whole thing. Look, obviously, we should all... This probably isn't the best time for an interrogation. Let's...
Yeah.
Charlotte, Papa wants to know you're alive. Let's go back upstairs. Monsieur Kelvan, my father wanted to speak to you as well.
Yeah, I would be glad to speak to him now that we have resolved some things. He's going to lean down and look at Leonora like, are we good? Do I need to keep holding you back?
She just nods, and in order to like say that, say like she's fine, she'll just go toward like closer to Mykolas and just show that she is now lax.
Okay, he will loosen, let go. He'll grab her shoulders as a sort of reassuring thing, and be like, he's back. You can yell at him more later. Let's go meet with the Duke.
And she'll nod again. She'll look back at Umberto and say, "Do not leave so hastily, Cugino."
Right now, the only way I'm leaving is not the way I normally would.
And she's reading at this moment. She's going to look at you, look at your hand, take your hand, and say, "I have never been more happy to see this again."
And he'll look down. At least you know how to find me.
Not in there.
I will make sure that you never have to step foot in there again unless it is an absolute necessary.
She shivers at the thought of going back, and then she will nod and turn around and follow Mykolas up the stairs.
As you all make your way from, again, a pretty low dungeon to up to the rather high... Roan, this is some exercise as you've been going up and down, up.
she will pause and like pop her back. She's like, God,
so many stairs.
Yeah. Shit.
Heading on up, you all come into the Duke's chamber where he's looking, and he looks up from the table and just rushes over and hugs his daughter. Charlotte. I thought, I know. Papa, I know, but we saw something in the seventh sea. That in-between place where the portiers go. We saw something. Didn't we, Umberto?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Rafael, you are looking at Umberto alive. Let's have a moment of reaction before he gets into that explanation. You are muted.
Okay, there it finally took. Umberto, what happens is Rafael walks with purpose towards the other side of the room and takes his face in between his hands and will instantly spend a hero point to take at least one of his traumatic wounds away, and is just gonna do the whole forehead to forehead thing of, "Oh, thank the prophet you're alive, both of you." He just sort of sits there and holds him for a second, and then will sort of kind of step back and is just like, we will deal with this after this, my friend. And looks at everyone else and just kind of goes, sorry, I had to, and he kind of just takes he's not going to headbutt you, Umberto.
In his excitement, he knocks him out.
Knocks him unconscious. No, I will spend one of the 2 hero points I have to heal Umberto before he goes into that, so he's not like swaying on the spot like the end animation of finish him in Mortal Kombat. We're not doing that.
Yeah, because right now he's looking like a crash test dummy.
Yeah, no. We'll at least do that and then step back and let them go into the explanation after.
Thank you. I needed that.
And the Duke sees that, but then nods to Umberto. Please continue.
There were... You see many things in between. And there were tents raised from the different houses. I obviously didn't recognize them, but Charlotte did.
He looks to Charlotte and she maps out kind of what's on. It's like, it looked like civil war. But it doesn't have to come to that. I wasn't hurt. At least not by them. And he looks and he goes, it's not just that. They shot me, Charlotte. If any portier got out, and we have reason to believe at least one did, Lempour will know that the first shot of a civil war has already been fired, and it was fired by him. And he will have the choice of showing humility or moving with intent as if it happened on purpose.
I have another option.
And he looks over at you. Yes?
You and I probably are the only ones in this room that have truly seen war. It's an ugly affair. But the causes get lost all the time. And he will flip him one of the Felici coins. The man who was leading this operation was carrying Felici identity and Felici coin. It would have been an easy thing to start a war between you and the king, creating opportunities. Even if it's not exactly how that happened, it gives the king an out without a civil war happening. You and I know that this war would be to the detriment of your land.
He turns and he looks at you. You believe this is the truth of the situation?
I don't know, but I think it is likely. He was in my country. He had helped kidnap Leonora. He had performed espionage and assault. And he indicated that he was working for someone other than the crown at the time.
That would be a death mark, not only for him, but his coterie. He flips the coin around on his fingers a little bit, a move, Umberto, that you would recognize as something that your mother often did. Just this weird moment of, this may work. Or at the very least, buy time. I will put together an envoy. It is a month till the next time court convenes. I will not send my troops off the island until I know they are being marshaled against me. But this may avert, may not. It depends on how truly out of control these portiers were. Now, they were fools, obviously. Healings forward. I do have a request for you, though, Mykolas Kelvan.
Yeah.
You are a soldier in the Samasian army. And from what the lookouts on my fortress tell me, I suspect you are also a practitioner of Sandaris.
I am Losajas, yes.
He smiles. My ancestor served with the second prophet. I am not that variety of Atassine. But that means you have powerful ears that you can reach. I have a letter to send with you. If you would deliver it to where it will get into the hands of your king. Your distraction, this rogue portier, might be the difference. And I'm willing to... And he looks over at Charlotte and lets out a very long sigh. I'm willing to allow the Emperor to make the first move in shattering this country. But if he makes the first, I must make the second. And I would ask that you give this message to your king, requesting aid, should I need to raise my banners.
I will deliver the communique as you ask. I hope that you do not need it. I've seen a future where there is war in your land, a war to end all wars.
They always say that.
This one might be the last.
The war of the fourth prophet.
I saw his banners.
Charlotte looks at Umberto like, do we say anything?
He'll just kind of...
If the fourth prophet is truly coming, all our attempts for peace might come to nothing. But that's all the more reason to try.
It's definitely a reason to try. No one hates war more than those who fight it.
He thinks about that. The soldiers, the people. And yet, when you're in the midst, you hate it before, you hate it after. But in the heat during. Rona, in the back of your head, Mykolas, or rather, as if from the side of your ears, like, a noble who truly knows what it is to fight. Interesting. And he steps up and looks at his map. Edgar, I need you to assemble a group. Trusted, good knights, but no one of value as a hostage. Their portier will get back first. We need to follow up very quickly. Edgar gives a nod and heads out. And the Duke kind of sits in his chair and takes a deep breath. You all, I'm in your debt in ways I cannot express. You leap to the protection of my daughter. You saved my own life. And you offer a way to perhaps avert this war. Even a hope at this point. Raphael.
See.
I would have you write a missive. One that my scribes can copy. To be sent out subtly among the common people of the land. If they have a month to prepare, this might be a good time to be a little light on the tithes to the nobility. A chance for them to put away food, as if for a particularly harsh winter. Let it be nothing that would speak to war, or it would be intercepted. Something the atheist nobles would ignore. A prophecy, if you will. Something that will get them to put away food. You know how rare it can become in fighting. Can you do that? You are muted.
I don't know why I muted myself. It says I can come up with something and have it to you post haste.
Charlotte steps up and goes, Papa, you were shot today, and war apparently can wait. You should rest. He's like, well, you apparently traveled to the 7th Sea today, so you should rest as well.
I think we all should.
Adrian, I cannot order you to bed, but I can strongly recommend it based on what I am seeing.
Umberto is kind of cycling through everything he just heard. And then he gets this smirk. Uncle?
Yes.
Would you do me the kindness of writing a letter? If you do in fact need to raise an army, I might have an idea where 2 more could be.
I'm certainly listening.
Well, it seems that me and my cousin here are the only 2 portiers you have. How would you like 2 more?
Portier not in service to Emperor.
As far as I know, my parents are not.
You're going to get me hit so many times when she comes back, but absolutely.
And he will kind of look over at Leonora. Yeah, trust me, I understand.
If they are there, warn them. If Felici did turn a portier, the army's marching might not be within Montaigne, but towards Vodacce.
Understood.
It might be best to be out of there. Lamotte will be generally ignored. It is not strategically important unless I am the target of the war.
This is going to be a great conversation.
I will certainly write the letter. It is strange to think of them and you as Portier, but then again, it is also... They are the ones who taught you.
Indeed. Not...
And
They didn't give me the entire story, but they gave me enough to figure it out.
I think teach Charlotte safely.
I think it was their way of keeping me safe without denying my gifts.
And I will get to that letter right away. Apparently we will all have much to write. I will, as long as I said, it will be a month before the court reconvenes in Charus. It will be not until after then that we will know if war is coming for us or not. He looks again to Mykolas. Thank you for buying everyone that time.
Of course.
All right. The rooms promised will be available for you all. And given everything that's happened, I think some rooms here in the family quarters would be appropriate. Thank you all so much. And the guards kind of come around and do some gesturing and some very kind of cross, what was her name? Where did it go? Chloe Dahlia, the nurse, comes in and is now basically yelling at the Duke. You get into your bed. I'm bringing you some food. You're gonna, and you, young lady, and they're both getting big. Read the riot act as you all very quickly make your exit. Particularly Umberto, who has the very strong suspicion that if she sees him, he will get the full earful as well. You get dragged out by your ear for one minor wound of damage. No, and you all are able to make it actually to a suite of rooms. There's a number of private rooms that shares one kind of common central area with a table and other amenities that is available for all of you. And you have some time to talk.
Hey, Umberto's going to be pacing. And he's finally going to kind of shift between Mykolas and Rafael. Like, who do I talk to first? And then he settles on Rafael. There was one more thing that was left out, but I didn't think it was time to cause more panic.
What happened?
There was someone else there before me and Charlotte found our way back. And they wanted me to deliver a message.
To
who?
You. To me.
And then he will proceed to carefully relay everything that was said about choosing a side.
It's like, okay. And that's when the passage will come to his head. And now he knows what he's going to write down as part of these letters to gather food. Is that what you may need to write down for me, because the only other one I have pinned was the child's tune one, not the other one.
Okay.
but
Burning cities, bruised by war, praise not the three. I am the fourth.
yeah, this is in addition to that, in that sing-songy type thing. He will sort of he will expound on that, but his wheels are turning. He looks at Umberto and goes, "Thank you for delivering the message. I don't know anybody who would feel the need to communicate this with me, but..."
And as you can see, you see why I did not mention it in front of everyone.
Yes, that's a fair point. We are still potentially going to be walking into Vodacce, yes?
Yes, and he'll kind of side eye towards Mykolas. Yes.
I have an idea. But it may require me to put myself at some social risk.
We put ourselves at risk all the time. This is nothing new.
This is different. If I'm going to be able to do what the Duke asks of me, I have to be able to back it up. I have an idea, but it will likely put me in the sights of the very people who tried to kill me previously. The only other place that they have a stronghold outside of Castile is in Vodacce.
Trust me, I am aware.
I won't know until I get there what it will entail, but something's got to be done. And I can't just be a priest anymore.
It seems we've all come to conclusions that we can't wear masks anymore.
Nope.
We're all going to come to terms with whatever is waiting for us back home. And I have a lot more questions now than answers after today.
As long as we have each other.
Yes, and
We
don't
face whatever
everyone
comes.
don't everyone go off half-cocked doing self-sacrificing noble bull. That is not like
That is really rich considering what you've done. You don't get to read us the riot act for doing so.
Don't
That's
make me go get Leonora.
do as I say, not as I do.
all right.
You're ridiculous, man.
But regardless of what comes, we have to have each other's back. We can't just think we're a one-man army. Although I'm fairly certain Mykolas could definitely decimate an army should he choose to.
I honestly feel like we all could if we really wanted to.
Speaking of Mykolas,
Yeah.
you said you got Felici coins from that gentleman?
Yeah. He had a number of coins and a mark indicating the Felicias.
Why her? You would think they would be looking for me, and if they have a porte.
All right. This is not the first time you have made a reference to a her. Umberto, who are we dealing with?
I meant, why would they go after Leonora?
Oh, that's what you meant. Because she's from that area, clearly there's some tie of destiny that pulls her in.
But why would they bring in a portier specifically for her and not me? As far as I know, I'm far more wanted than she is. So what makes her more important?
Less known.
Is Leonora hearing this?
No. So Leonora has gone, once they get into the common area, has gone to her bedchamber and is cleaning up and keeps hearing in her head about war and about Felici and about a whole bunch of other things. So she's turning to her tarot deck and she is going to use them for their purpose and is going to incite fate through her tarot about the future. Okay. And so she is giving questions with intention and seeing what the cards bring.
Okay. One second while I pull up my list.
Please. And then
is there a mechanical aspect to this? I don't have the.
No, not necessarily. Mm-hmm. It's kind of up to your interpretation, especially if you're not as familiar with tarot. Because there's the major arcana and then there's the minor arcana, which I think in this particular sense consists of coins, cups, swords, and wands.
Yeah. Okay. The way we're going to make this work, this is not a mechanic from the game, but I love it because this is kind of what the cards would normally be for. So we're going to go for it.
Got some cards here too.
Yeah. Wait. You are going to, what you're going to do is you're going to ask a question. You are going to spend a lash.
Uh-huh.
And that will give you 2 questions.
Incredible.
And you can continue doing that as much as you want.
Incredible.
But I will be answering you in cards.
Awesome.
Which will then be up to your interpretation.
So I'll spend a lash. I'm now at 5.
Okay.
And my first question is, when is this war?
When is the war?
Or when will this war occur?
When will this war occur? You get the moonless night inverted, indicating hubris.
Mm-hmm.
The thrones ascendant, indicating the virtue.
Great. Great.
And finally, the devil ascendant. Or as you have probably started coming to think of it, the divine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just put that in my notes. Okay. And then my second question would be, what role am I to take in this war?
The tower inverted.
Don't like that.
The emperor inverted. and somehow accidentally shuffled into the deck the Felici sigil.
God damn it. Okay. Is it upside down or is it right side up? That's
It's right side up.
Cool. Sounds great. And she's going to ruminate on these two questions for now.
All I'm saying, if someone from the Felici household is paying portiers specifically to target Leonora, she is far more important than we think.
Let me be very clear right now. If anybody from that house hurts her again, I will burn it to the ground.
And let me make it abundantly clear. I'll help you light it up.
So, we're agreed.
There is only one person there I need to speak to. There's only one person there I care about. If she'll have me, if she'll let me explain, everyone else, Father.
Very well. My only concern going into this is to make sure all of you get out safely and Leonora gets whatever she needs.
What is Roan up to in the midst of all this? Roan's been fairly quiet with everything that's been happening. And talk about war that she also has a letter to write.
Oh, I think they're talking and stuff. It started out of her reacting to the conversation like, ooh, shit. Oh, shit. And then it dawned on her that this is not going to go away. And that she just got knighted and already about to potentially do something very important. And because she is a Knight of the Grawl, if the Queen has it, she will do it. Which means she will also have to experience that with other Knights of the Grawl, potentially. Which she's a little excited about. But all in all, she is in her own thoughts and is very nervous about it. And question though, would she know if because Sir Brian lived for a long time because of his affliction. Was he in a war?
He fought the war against Montaigne. He was one of the ones who drove the Portier out.
So now she is wondering how he would handle this situation right now. But she will honestly just start getting to write the letter.
Actually, I think it would be fair to say that because he did not hide the fact that he was training her to take his place.
Yeah.
And as he did not have children. And as he was training you, he talked about a lot of times he was sharing he would share lots of stories of glorious battle. But it was always those stories were always about him and maybe a small group of people in the middle of the fight. And you're starting to realize he did not tell glorious stories about the liberation of Avalon, of the Glamour Isles. He taught strategy. He taught you about how to protect people. He talked about pushing the magic of the cornucopia to the limit to make sure villages didn't starve. And there was always that quiet distance to him And he did not tell glorious stories of large battle, even though you know for a fact that he fought in many of them. Adventure was glorious to Sir Bryant. War was a duty that he did not relish.
I think she will, as she's writing letters, she will give that same incentive without really saying it. And she is, and remind me, she would send this to the queen, correct? That would be the one who would get it, or
yep.
Okay.
No one else can order all of the knights.
So she is going to write that out very plainly and stamp it with all the officialness of a Knight of Duda, and also now the lady of one of the houses in Avalon.
All right. Raphael, you have a letter to write. Could you please give me your panache and either convince or scholarship, depending on, or your options, the options you have here for this. You have convince, you have tempt, you have intimidate. You could use any of those three. Which one do you use? And you are muted.
I keep doing this to myself because I'm afraid I'm going to come across. So I will use convince.
All right. Panache convince.
With panache, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I get flair, right? Because I haven't had to roll this yet.
Yep. Flair indeed.
Okay. Awesome. Oh crap! We love this for me. That's 4.
4. All right. You write your letter to the peasants of Montaigne. How do you sign it? Do you use your name? Do you use a pseudonym? Do you try to claim some higher authority? How are you? All of which are fairly well known. There are letters from the prophets that were written 50, 100 years after that prophet's lifespan, because it's believed that letter was written in their tradition, even though not by the man personally.
I think he would sign it with his name and the 4th.
Okay. That is now being distributed by the heralds of House Lamont. Later that evening, letters are delivered to the suite. One given to Umberto, written to his parents, and one given to Mykolas with instruction to deliver it with all available speed to the king of the Samartian Commonwealth. And as you all are sitting in your various spaces, thinking about the very real possibility of war, either Montagnian civil war or a war between Montaigne and Vodacci. One way or another, you find sleep. And that night, while you all sleep, while guards walk the ramparts of the keep, a tear seems to appear in reality over the black ship. a figure, seemingly made entirely of blood, steps through. With the gesture, the tear behind him closes. And the blood seems to drip off of the figure. It looks around. For a moment, it takes on the visage of Umberto Vitale. Considers. Then it takes on the look of Rafael Rodriguez. Considers. And then another shift. And it takes on the visage of Edgar Lamont. Yes. This will do. And with that, we are going to bring this session to a close. Thank you so much to my players for playing. Thank you so much to Basics of the Game for hosting us. Thank you so much to Dragon of the Dark Rose for producing us. Thank you to everyone who has been watching us. And as always, until next time, keep playing more games.